Hello. I'm making a video for the beautiful Native American girl. Her name is Jermain Austin. I watched this 48-hour crime report last night, and it was her face that drew me to her. Her face was kind of speaking. I'm a psychic, and sometimes faces on the internet. There's a beautiful bird there in the sky. Maybe that's her, reincarnated. That could be. So sometimes faces, they draw me to them because I feel like, okay, so if a face draws me to them from a crime report, then I must obey, because maybe she wants me to talk about it, right, in my video and convey a message to the world. So, and that's what I would like to do for her. Beautiful, gorgeous 22-year-old Native American girl. I don't know whether that was Lakota tribe. I forgot now the name. Somewhere out there where it's inland and desert, and where it gets cold. And I noticed that the Native Americans, the farther north you go, the more the Native Americans look Asian. That's what I observed. She looks quite Asian. So when I saw the face, I thought, oh, that's a girl from either the Philippine Islands or Indonesia or something like this. Or like maybe even Thailand. So, and then I see, oh, that's a Native American girl, 100% Native American girl from the north. So, and they look very Asian. They even have a darker skin complexion. So that makes me wonder, how did they go there? What happened to the nomadic tribes? Which way did they go? And where did they come from originally? Probably from the Asian continent, okay. And so when did they arrive there in the Americas? All these questions that I have, and where do all the Asians come from? This is so fascinating, it's just beyond measure. Every time I see a face, I feel like I need to study that. I need to find out about the anthropology and the geographic history of those people, and how do they differ from the ones in South America, because the ones in South America, they don't have that exact Asian type of face. They don't have slanted eyes, the ones. But you can see that they are also Native American, like the Olmec, for example. They resemble so many people in South America. So, and where do they come from? Where do these Olmec people come from? Very, very interesting. I believe that there were 2 migration paths that happened in a long time in history. But I don't want to get into this too much right now, because I'm making this video for Jermain, because she drew me in with her face, and she wants me to talk about it in my videos. So I just want to briefly explain what happened with what I watched in the 48-hour crime report. So there's a tribal community, and her sister is putting large billboards up for many, many years. For I think like 9 years, they have been looking for her, and the sister said, "I will never stop looking for her because I think about her all the time." And people were interviewed, also the law enforcement people, and they said this Native American tribal community has a very high rate of human trafficking, where there will be people coming down the very large highway. They will stop there and they will literally buy a woman, and then they drive off and the woman will never be seen again. And I think this is really good that the lady, the officer lady working for law enforcement and for the investigation, that she mentioned this in the very beginning. Later on, she said she thinks she couldn't really talk about it too much, because when something is under investigation still, they have a code of silence and they have to obey by that. They cannot be giving away information, because that can then be used by a criminal, or the criminal might be able to get away with that information or escape, or so that's why they're not allowed to make any definite declarations, as long as it is under investigation, and it still is, and it will be probably for a very long time. What happened is that, and they showed videos from surveillance cameras where she was seen at a bar outside on the street with a bunch of guys, and she was very popular with the boys. She had her boyfriend there, on and off boyfriend, who had already beaten her, but because she was so gentle, she went back to him. And then by the time this video was shown, she had already told him that she did not want to continue this romantic relationship, that they can be friends because they have children together, but she didn't want to live with him anymore, and she wanted to be independent. And he even got a lawyer and got total custody over the children. Real cruel. She didn't have the money for a lawyer. Her boyfriend's white and she is Native American, and I don't know where he gets the money from, because he doesn't. These people, nobody there in that region, I don't think, has a lot of money. They don't look like they have a lot of money. They're very, so it's like a rural area, and I don't like these loudspeakers, these really blasting loudspeakers. That should be abolished, okay? But anyway, so where does this guy, her boyfriend, white boyfriend, who he looks like, I don't know, part German, part Italian, something like that. And where does he get the money from? That's a legitimate question to ask, because he doesn't look like a very smart and educated person at all. So they always hang out in these bars, and the girl just doesn't know any better, because she thinks those are her friends, those are her buddies, and she hangs out with them, and everyone likes her, everyone wants to be with her, and she's very popular with everyone because everyone loves her, because she's just such a wonderful, kind-hearted person who loves animals, who makes artwork. And it's heartbreaking for me to see that it's always, whether that's Native American or white girl or German or Italian or equatorial, doesn't matter, or Asian, no, doesn't matter who these people are. It's always guaranteed a kind-hearted soul that gets victimized. It's very awful to see this, and that's why I want to talk about it, because I dedicate this video for her. So you can watch that report. I think that has her name on there, Jermain Austin, 48-hour crime report. Yeah, you can just put this into Google and the video will come up. So watch and think for yourself and tell me what you think about this situation, but I will tell you now what I think about it. So, but anyway, the camera showed her with her boyfriend, and then they walk away from these other bodies, and then she was never seen again, and the boyfriend refused to give an interview for a 48-hour crime report. So, which is a red flag, of course. Why would he refuse this interview? So if he has nothing to hide, he obviously has. Okay, this is very clear. And also the police officer lady, they clearly are zooming in on him, and she already talked about that. So that this may not be a trafficking, this may be something else. And when I know what the other option is, homicide, of course. So it's one of the two. It's either homicide, jealous boyfriend, jealous husband, she's breaking up with him, he wants full custody over the children, and if he can't her, then because he's a psychopath and he is a beginner soul, then he doesn't grant her to have her life on her own. So he doesn't want her to be with anyone else. So it's total self-centeredness and selfishness, and that's the truth. That's what I see with that guy. So he either murdered her, and he was also a truck driver for commercial trucks, so transportation, long distance transportation. So he may have murdered her and took the body with him and discarded her somewhere else, or buried her in a forest or something. But the body was never found. So, and I knew from the beginning on, my psychic intuition told me that this has to do with trafficking. Okay, the officer thinks it's leading in the other direction, but I think this is a trafficking case. He sold her to human traffickers. Okay, so she'll never be seen again. She may be transported to another country. No one will ever see her again. She has absolutely no power over that situation at all. She may be put in some kind of human trafficking cage where she will be used, and no telling what they might do with her. And that's what's so unbelievably heartbreaking. That's why my plea goes out there to the government. Please crack down on this worldwide. Do a cooperation with other countries on cracking down on the situation. The problem is that the Mexican president is already on the take from the drug cartels and the traffickers. And that's why she refuses to cooperate with the United States government. And I think this is a pity. We can make the world a better place, particularly when it's a woman president. It's like I expect more from a woman. I expect more compassion from the Mexican president. My appeal goes out to her. Help us. Help girls like Jermain. Okay? Help them to be found and brought to safety. Help to and crack down and have SWAT teams go after those traffickers, bust that wide open, rescue all children and women and everyone who is their victim. Okay, that is my appeal to the Mexican president and worldwide. Okay, so no one knows what happened to her. Okay, this is what my intuition is. That he probably got $2,000 for her. Selling his girlfriend, his wife, the mother of his children, to some trafficker, getting money and walking away. Scot-free, And seems like they're not really going after him. Because this is what's happening with the human trafficking industry. They're all covering up for each other. As long as they are also on the take, as long as they are getting their paycheck from that industry, then they will keep silent and they will cover up for other people. That's what's happening. It's very sad. I've already seen this also with the pharma industry and the food industry. This is happening too. The corruption level is just unbelievable that's going on in the world. Really unbelievable. So that's what I wanted to share, and you can leave a comment if you think that you have the feeling that something else happened. So we can open a discussion, sort of, if you want to talk about this, share your emotions also about it, because I know a lot of people have emotions about this. I have emotions. I'm a mother. I'm a dog mother. Okay, I feel very strongly about all of these girls being abducted, and I cry over that. And I cry over the girls, I cry over the pigs, I cry over the dogs, I cry over all the victims in the world. Okay? Every day, every single day. And that's why I make videos about this, because I think it's important that we talk about it. It's very, very important. I just want to show the English laurel, how beautiful it looks in the last sunbeams for today, going into the English laurel. Very, very nice. I sent Jermain flowers and ivy leaves and English laurel leaves. I sent you hearts and petals and leaves and flowers. Okay, you beautiful, beautiful soul. I'm infinitely sorry what happened to you, and this is all I can do. I can make videos, I can talk to people on the internet, I can write about it. I don't have any political leverage. I would never be allowed to have political leverage because I'm an activist. I'm an activist for the right reasons and the right things. So I'm a peace activist, I'm a justice activist, I'm an animal activist. I speak out for all victims. Okay. All victims are my emotional clients. Okay. That is the truth. So that's what I wanted to share, because I think this is important, and I just hope that law enforcement will zoom in on that guy, on that ex-boyfriend, and get him to confess, So I just really, really hope for that. And if the boyfriend sees my video, speak out. Speak out about it. You can already not sleep at night because of what you have done. Speak out. Blow the whistle on this horrifically bad demonic industry, the human trafficking industry. Blow the whistle on them, speak out, tell them all about the person that bought her from you. Give them all the information you have. Okay, that is my appeal. So we can make the world a better place, so healing can finally begin. Okay, it's very, 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 very important. I don't know how much the US government, with the better regime now, I don't know anything about Kash Patel and Dan Bongino. I don't know these people. I can't really make a judgment about them. I had put my hopes in them, but they're obviously lying to the public now. And they look, from what I can observe in their faces, when they said, it's real clear now that Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. He hung himself. That's very clear. We did an investigation now. And for years before, they said They said it was homicide. So what's happening here? Okay, that is a clear case of two people that got into a governmental position to investigate, and I can see in their faces that they do not feel comfortable about this at all, and they actually look scared. They actually look terrified in some of these interviews. They look terrified. Kash Patel has some photos where he already looks terrified before Dan Bongino got in to help him. He already looked terrified. Okay, so don't underestimate the leverage that the human trafficking industry has. Okay, that is, in my view, from what I can observe, that is the largest industry worldwide. And this is not something that pertains to this country. This pertains to the entire planet. Okay, this is a powerful multi-quadrillion industry. Okay, I'm sure that's quadrillions that are flowing into this. Quadrillions of dollars or yen or whatever. Okay, and people need to really be aware about this. That's why my appeal goes out to you, every individual person. It's up to you to not feed into this industry any further. Say no to it, even if they send a hooker to you that is exactly your type because they've already studied you. If you are in politics, that's how they function. That's the mafia. It is the same thing. Paul always says, that's not the mafia. Of course it is the mafia. You can call it different names, corporate agenda, mafia. It may not be only the Italian mafia, but the Italian mafia is part of that also. Okay, I'm sure of that. So it is a world mafia. Okay, it's a worldwide horrific mafia, and that's what the corporate agenda is. And we need to bring it down. Okay, so it's time now to bring them down. And it's up to every single person to help with that and to speak out. Tell law enforcement what you know. Make videos about it. Tell as many people you know. Don't just tell one person, because that's dangerous. You have to blast it out. Once you blast it out, you have to blast it out as wide as possible. Because then you have this so-called dead man switch, where they can't suicide all of these people then that you have informed. Okay, so this gives you power, strength of numbers, immunity, sort of, you know. So tell everyone about it, make videos, publicize it, publicize what you know, okay, and bring this industry to a fall and rescue all innocent beings. Also let's rescue all the animals from factory farms. They suffer just as much and worse. So let's create peace and happiness for all living beings. Take care.